Thoughts after watching Disclosure Day. Number 1. Very clever shift from the fear-based, if we are suddenly attacked by some other species from some other planet, we would unite.
Get how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
A shift from that to a much more possibly appealing unifying principle of empathy as the key to our survival and hopefully evolution into something more human. Second, the abduction scene with children was in light of actual use of children from cult communities to participate in what were called abduction scenarios, in actual experimentations and the manipulation of memory and the rest of it. That's formally classified, some of it not, creation of altars and so forth, to protect memories, and encouraged by groups like the False Memory Syndrome Foundation. So, a lot of these together, I don't believe that Spielberg understood what he was doing in furthering this propaganda, simply as another cover for classified experimentation that's been going on since World War II. In fact, the furthest back that the documentation in the movie purportedly shows is also back to just after World War II. No mention whatsoever is mentioned of the factual existence of groups like the T-Forces operatives from the OSS that went out to formerly occupied Europe and confiscated these experimental models, prototypes, and so forth. Also, triangle-shaped craft that are featured in United States patents owned by the United States Navy, officially called inertial mass reduction device, or a vehicle for the use of an inertial mass reduction device. The reduction of inertia, which allows these craft to suddenly shoot off into the distance without killing the occupants.
This vehicle develops probably several million volts of voltage. And the sheer power of the electrostatic field that is created in this capacitor array actually has the ability to polarize the surrounding space-time.
A lot of this is not public. However, what we do know is theoretical. Miguel Alcubierre and his paper on faster-than-light travel. The books like Nick Cook's The Hunt for 0 Point, which is actually mentioned in the Disclosure Project by Greer, in front of a committee.
Into what's now been called the 0 point energy field. And I referred the panel to the Jane's Defense Weekly writer Nick Cook and his book, The Hunt for 0 Point.
So there's a lot this movie is not showing, and it's good to focus on empathy as a higher part of the human potential. Empathy is important. We do find that the more destructive members of our society lack empathy almost universally. So that being said, good movie, classic Spielberg, and it's just that, a movie. Hopefully the lesson of empathy can proliferate a little bit more, but I think it's the easiest way and most efficient way of managing the current US, world's global population, to avoid war and ultimate self-destruction, which we do have the power to do. Empathy is very important to survive what Carl Sagan called technological adolescence, and we're definitely in the throes of that right now.
This might even go back to something that Nikola Tesla discovered back in the 1940s, and it just was all hushed up, and all the UFO sightings we've ever seen were something that came from Nikola Tesla, not from another planet.